Hey, it's me, Miss Pat. Okay, today let's talk about something very serious that is going on with our community. Actually, it's going on with humankind all over the world with this COVID stuff and people being locked up with people not trying to identify with who they are. Let's discuss mental health, okay? And the reason I wanted to discuss mental health is this. Okay, so, we all go through something in life. We do. Some people, from the time they were born, they actually go through a lot. Okay? They do. And so I remember I was going through something, and I don't want to discuss. I won't go into discussion with it because it's not important. It's important to what I'm saying, but it's not. And I mean, I just kept going on and on and on and on, and I was stuck in the problem, and I was just talking and talking, and I started to feel like I'm getting anxiety, and I just kind of felt like, I'm sharing with this person, but they've probably gone through more than I've gone through. But at that moment, I was just caught up in my own moment. And I remember them saying to me, you know what, Pat? We all go through something. This light, there's something about the light. The light is not shining right. She says, we all go through something. You just talk about it. You just really talk about what you go through. Yes, I do. I do. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I do. Okay, so back in the day when I was younger, I used to go through so much. I didn't talk about it. I always had a smile on my face. I was the person anybody could call and tell me their problems. No matter what was going on in my life, I always just found the positive side of it. Really, I was this strong woman, nothing, I didn't let it out in the world that I was bothered about something, okay? So I'm going through I'm this really not very good time in my life. Like, things were not working out. But if you met me, you would never know that they weren't working out, in general. I just come to this country. I'm new. I'm new to the country. I'm trying to figure myself out. I'm trying to figure out going to school and all this stuff. Just a lot going on. Now imagine you're trying to adjust from one life to another. You're new in the country, just so much going on. Nothing's working for you. I remember getting here and I was stranded at the airport. Then when I got stranded at the airport, I get to the city I was supposed to start school with. And I don't have the money to start school. Okay? So, but me being the Pat that I used to be, whatever, we'll figure it out. We'll work it out, okay? So, as time progressed, I got married and I had kids. And when I had kids, I didn't realize that I had what they call post-baby blues. I can't remember the clinical word they use. Postpartum depression or something. To be honest with you, I didn't think I was depressed about anything. I mean, what are you talking about? What's depression? I don't know what that is. I'll make a way out of whatever is going on. That's how I always was. So one day, I'm with the kids and I'm going through something. My son went into a seizure and I had to rush him to the hospital. Luckily, it was a walking distance, so he's foaming in the mouth, he's seizing, and I have no idea what to do. So I remember that the hospital was just down the street. So I forget that I'm in my t-shirt and in my underwear. And I was little then. I was really tiny then, so I wasn't offending anybody. I ran out of the house, yes, in my t-shirt and underwear, carrying this baby, because I realized where we lived, it would be faster for me to run to the emergency room than to call 911. When I get to the emergency room, of course, they take my son and they tell me he was seized because he had a very high fever. Anyway, they, settled him and everything. Come to find out he had an ear infection. And he did suffer through a lot of ear infections to a point where they ended up putting PE tubes in his ears. But when your child is admitted in the hospital, you as a parent, that hospital is really good. They asked me to speak to what they call like a counselor therapist, whatever. And I'm thinking, why do I need to talk to a counselor therapist? So while I'm sitting there and the lady's asking me all of these personal questions, and I'm just sitting there looking at her like, I'm not depressed. I'm okay. Everything's working out. What are you talking about? She said, well, you're showing signs of clinical depression. And I'm like, what are the signs of clinical depression? I'm fine. She said, Pat, if you don't start talking, you might not live long enough for your kids to have you as a mom. That's how far gone you are. I'm looking at this lady like, you've got to be kidding me. I don't feel that. I don't feel what you're telling me I'm feeling. She said, you may not feel it, but your actions show it. I'm like, what actions? She says, you're angry and mad all the time. You're angry at everybody. You're angry at everything. And you don't realize that you're angry. I said, I am. This is how, I didn't even realize that I'd gone into a depression. Okay, whatever, baby blues, whatever they call that. Okay, so she tells me, okay, fine. If you don't want to do therapy, what I need you to do is I want you to start talking. I don't care if you talk to a post. I don't care if you talk to a dog. I don't care if you get on a bus and just start talking to strangers. I want you to start talking. Just tell a stranger what you're going through. You'll never meet them again, so they won't know what you're going through. Huh? Talk to your mother-in-law. Talk to somebody. Whatever you do, I want you to start talking. And I'm looking at this lady, and I'm telling her, talk about what? I have nothing to talk about. Everything's fine. She says, just practice it. When you live here today, when you meet somebody just on the street, just start talking to them. Yeah. And when I did that, I really did realize that for real, I had no idea that I was going through a major depression, okay? But that talking, I started talking. I started telling, my cat, the kids, I just started talking. And up to today, I still talk. So if something bothers me, I talk about it, okay? And so mental health is very, very important. So if somebody is talking to you about what they're going through, please just sit there and listen. You don't even have to give them your side of the story. You don't have to even acknowledge it. Just sit there. They just probably want somebody to just vent to. Just vent. Matter of fact, I'm here. I'm on Facebook, Patricia Snell. I am me. If you want to talk, I'll listen. I'm always here. I'll listen to somebody because I understand what it's like not to talk. Because when I finally started talking, I healed, okay? I healed. And that's why I'm here today. All right, thank you.